On the southern fringes of the Sahara Desert lives one of the most extraordinary tribes on earth. They're despised by many of their neighbours and struggle to exist in a hostile landscape. But for the Wadabi nomads, beauty is almost as important as survival. Every year they gather from all over the desert to hold a unique beauty contest. The competitors are men, and women choose their lovers from the lineup. The Wadabi have kept their ancient way of life for thousands of years, remote from urban forces. They live in the Sahel region of West Africa. The Sahel stretches between Senegal in the west and Chad in the east. At its heart is Niger, a vast land of 500,000 square miles, only half of which is habitable. There is only one short and erratic rainy season, and for most of the year, the Sahel is like a blazing furnace. In this harsh environment, the Wadabi eke out a living as cattle herders, constantly on the move, looking for new pasture. Life in the desert is dirty and hard, but they believe they are the most beautiful people on earth. No self-respecting Wadabi herdsman would be without his compact mirror. Wearing makeup is part of their ethnic identity. It's also worn to attract women, especially at the Garawal, the annual beauty contest which marks the end of the rainy season. The isolated location and date are kept secret until just before the event. It's the highlight of the year, lasts for 7 days and nights, and is an opportunity for men and women from different groups to get together. There are approximately 65,000 Wadabi in Niger. They travel in small family groups, moving every few days, looking for fresh pasture for their zebu cattle. They're fiercely proud of their nomadic way of life and the special bond they have with their animals.
Ni abinda nike so gado na ko men pini men tay no wodade jonde ladde da hillanci zani ko don kanyo ko men pini men tay ko men kollidi ko di andi kule di mbaali men noddi di men iboy der ladde badaci men noddi di nyaaro di ngare am kul men gartiri di wuro di mbaalo to kul men jahi to jeene ngoni men jeenodi di shaako di mbiga dum fu ko di andi do amen beldum amen di andi ay ciangal be mbadanta di andume ay dum kanji ma goddo kul wari mo di anda di nyaare di shaloto darago di nyaare di shalo darago di battata ko dum fu kadi ma najje fu e andi jawmu najje fu e andi jawmu.
This Wadabi family has been travelling since dawn. They're heading towards Ingul, where at this time of year there's salt for their cattle. It's 46 degrees centigrade, 115 degrees Fahrenheit. The group are getting tired and they decide to set up camp. Quincy Riga and his friend Mina Gondi are drinking tea with a cousin who's arrived from a neighbouring group. He tells them that the location of the Garawal has been announced. Quincy's looking forward to it.
kornice shoodi mbaɗi shammere najje mbaɗi yowre ɓe joji jalole ɓe jeero edani a goɗɗa ɓe jahi jeerewol ha goɗɗo malayri jeehi jeerol daftito e heɓi e rijo ne kanjum ɓuri mbiɗgo to mi yahi e jeerol ni.
Their wives are also looking forward to the year's main event.
To shida inon nana ingal na yana tahiya yaro bo shi baya bira abun gadon shi sai ya je wasa tun lokacin shi ma in yanzu yana da yara ko biyu ko daya.
Mina's wife Mariama is getting excited too.
Yana diba maza wadda suke yi jere. Sai ya tahi da wuri ko?
For the moment, however, Quincy and his wife Yaya have another important event on their minds. Quincy is taking a second bride. With no walls between them in the desert, the three will share their lives together.
Vai come sabanda kana mukagada. Vai come. De mace shi nan baya so kawai mu dauko wata kaman hira kawai. Haka ne baya so ma in maci shin vai come. Belle dan uwa shi.
Wadabi women have relative freedom and mobility within marriage. Unhappily married women can elope with a new husband.
Yana zuwa da shi gida har ta zama har ta yi sufa har ta zamna ta iya baya iya tashi baya komi har ta mutu wurin ba ta komi a'a shi ma yana nema wani.
Wadabi means the people of the taboo, because to remain Wadabi they must adhere to strict codes relating to behaviour and appearance. Women divide their hair into segments and sport a big top knot at the front, which they remove when they're older. Men braid their hair into intricate shapes and often wear eyeliner even into old age. Girls are cut with razors when they're babies, and charcoal is sprinkled in the wound to form tattoos. Face packs of minerals are worn to improve the complexion. Even the way they set up their camp adheres to strict rules. Women lay out their beds north to south according to rank and erect a table on which they display their possessions. Everything has its place, and every 2 or 3 days it's loaded onto the back of a donkey or an ox and they move on. The Wadabi are among the last nomads in Africa. Severe droughts have dramatically reduced their herds. Climate change and the spread of agriculture are forcing growing numbers of Wadabi into towns like this one to look for food, and their ancient way of life is under threat. Janari Husseini, the head of the group, is concerned about their future.
To da mai biyu da mai uku duk su yi hankuri suna tare da abin shi suna tare yanzu ya yi hankuri da wanda bai samu wani abu shi ya tahi ya shiga gari wasu da abin shi ya kare sun haukace ka.
After the recent droughts, there were stories of men who'd lost all their cattle and, unable to accept it, had carried on herding as if their animals were still alive.
Mutum dai kar ya bari gadon shi kai da baka da komai baka da shi in gaya maka
They dislike killing or selling their cattle and generally only use them for milking. Quincy has 15 animals, and tomorrow Yaya will have to share them with her husband's new bride.
Ada sarraina. Gado ne mana. Mutum baya ce baya yi cishiya. Mace in ta zo bisa ka sai kai hankuri ka zamna shi ya zamna.
Rain is on its way. The air contains particles of red sand from the Sahara and casts an orange hue. Yaya fell in love with Quincy 2 years ago at the Garawal, and they chose to stay together. This type of union is called tigal, a marriage made from love. The new marriage is different. It was arranged by Quincy's parents when he was very small. Would Darby call a marriage arranged by the parents Kobgal?
Kobgal o arete. Kama on da e bi aga. Ika hobe ila o kama joni hini o hobe o jame. To hokkana ma de sadaci dum heji pu. Den o wore e mo don fa o mawna fa o yahara debbo mawdo.
The camp's looking forward to celebrating Quincy's new marriage.
Mama.
Yaya waits for the arrival of the new bride while food is being prepared. The wedding guests are here at last. The visitors are welcomed by the group, but in Wadabi culture, they must observe humility and avoid looking directly at each other. Contact with other people in the desert is a rare event. Later, the bride, Fatima, arrives with her family. She was betrothed to Quincy by her parents when she was 7. Now she's 15, and he's decided to claim her. Quincy can see the benefits of having 2 wives.
Wuri ɗaya na zamna haka yana yi wannan gusu wannan arewa kusa da kusa ina zamna da shi wuri ɗaya haka nan yana yi kaman yau iyakon yau waje wannan gobe sai ya maraita waje wacce haka nan yana yi ce yana ji daɗi tunda haka nan ya tarda haka nan ya gado gadon da mutu ya tarda baya ji ba yi mishi daɗi haka nan ya tarda ya yi mishi daɗi hiɗo anni shi ya haɗi ya yi mishi tun da haka nan ya gada ananta abol ba ne biya nan na bilɗum ai
Janari, the head of the group, welcomes the visitors and invites them to eat. Men and women eat separately. Wadabi are far away from modern communications, and news is spread by word of mouth. While the elders wait for their food, the groom is eating with his friends. Tonight, the men have gathered to agree on the terms of the marriage. It is customary for the groom to give 3 of his cattle to the bride's family. The women will not be included tonight, but it is they who will choose the cattle in the morning.
Ko joɗɗini en ɗo ɗum mafaari e kunce hoogoto to e ɗum zuwa o hokkama koggal joni tawi o waɗa ƙoƙari o raara ko o waddi joni ɗum kanjum ɗo joɗɗini duniya ɗo bakin gonɗo ɗo fu o toccinoya ndi ɗiɗaɓri ko o toccinoya ndi tataɓri mostordi ko tole o heƴina ngal mo raara o waɗa ƙoƙari o hoobo
Allah balla kanko kunce ko
It's time for the women to choose their animals. They know a beautiful man when they see one, and they can also spot a beautiful cow. Fatima, the new bride, will not sleep with Quincy for a few months until after the 3rd and final cow is handed over to her parents. Finally, the women are satisfied. Fatima will go back to her parents' camp tonight, and Yaya will have Quincy to herself for the next 2 months. The following day, the weather changes dramatically. Suddenly, the sky darkens. The cattle seem disturbed. Sandstorms can approach in minutes. The calves are tethered before the storm hits. The Wadabi have a special way of coping with physical hardship and emotional upheaval. They call it munyal, a sort of patient acceptance. Munyal is part of an ancient and complex behavioural code which has endured the spread of Christianity and Islam. Their tradition is crucial to them. It's their identity. It means freedom and security. heart of this is pulaku. It is similar in meaning to our word chivalry. The Wadabi must demonstrate patience, self-control, mental discipline, prudence, modesty and respect for others. They must also show semtende.
Kamati neɗɗo semta tagu esu tagu jaatiɗo fuu ceesuɗo ɗum walde dañomo walde baba mo walde inna mo kamɓe kamati neɗɗo semta waɗana kula waɗna ɓe daraja semta ɓe hula ɓe waɗna ɓe daraja to yi'i ɓe fuu waɗna ɓe ngal waawi fuu ngal ɓe mbawata waɗana ɓe waɗa iye ngal waawi fuu waɗana ɓe waɗa kulo e maɓɓe.
There are many taboos in Wadabi culture, but perhaps the strangest of them all is the one which forbids parents from ever speaking to their firstborn child. Quincy's aunt Zenabu never spoke to her son until he was an adult.
Kumayaro na fadi ba imashi magana uwa duka. To kaman haka na gado mune diyan fadi muna kumiya. Bisa mutum baka yi bisa mutane baka yi madiyan fadi magana hakan ga.
Kuma ba a kira sunan shi.
Kuma ba a kira sunan shi.
Belle ka kira sunan shi, belle ka yi mashi wani abu. Sai ka zuba mashi ido kan.
Ko yayi wani laifi sai dai ka jale shi hakan. Kai dai baka yi mashi sai dai wani yayi mashi.
One of the effects of this custom is that children are integrated very quickly into the wider family and lavished with affection. Today, Janari will oversee an important family event. His nephew, Gorsi, is 15 years old. He's about to become a panyo, a young man. His father has given him his first cow, and tonight the group will celebrate. Gorse's relations from neighbouring camps have made the long journey to the party. One of the visitors is Gorse's father.
And then don't come anane
To celebrate Gorse's coming of age, Quincy has arranged for the men to perform a dance. But first, they'll let him in on some beauty secrets. As Gorsi enters manhood, he's learning how to transform himself for future beauty contests. Although physical beauty is very important to the Wadabi, they also value inner beauty, or togu.
waje mutum da fari ya yi wanka ya safa mai ya jera jikin shi ya zama tsaf ya yi kiba wadda ya gan shi yana so kuma akwai farin jini na gado.
Quincy takes Gorsi through his paces in the yashi, a dance intended to seduce women. The men are very relaxed, saving their energies for the Garawal festival, where they will attempt to dance for up to 7 days, and where women will choose the best performers, taking them into the bush for a night of romance. Gorsi watches the dancers and joins in with the hypnotic swaying. Tired after his dancing lesson, Gorsi returns to the camp and is excused the evening's herding duties. Staring into his compact mirror, he's clearly happy with his new reflection and delays removing his makeup for as long as possible. That evening, the women get together to celebrate Gorsi's coming of age. Meanwhile, around the men's campfire, Janari gives Gorsi some advice.
nani ko nuri onon e bil kaleji din don fu amma a woni jaati do mabbe nani ko
Now a man, Gorsi reflects on a busy day and looks forward to the time when he can dance for the girls at the Garawal. The group are on the move again. Quincy and his friend Mina are eager to get going as the Garawal starts in 2 days' time. But unfortunately, they've had a setback. Mina's wife, Mariama, has fallen ill.
Ahi si so se kaman da dama na ko da rani kasan lokacin ne nan ne adda ko zahiran mutanen daji su sai rashin lahiya.
Although Mariama isn't well, the group must move today. The Wadabi never let their cattle overgraze pasture land and have taboos about the days on which they can travel.
tati lewru deɗɗe hande jahango nayi no yowre faɓɓi jahango no yowre joweego no yowre na joweeɗiɗi lewru tewa 15 no racce
The group would rather camp on sand than grass, as it offers greater protection against scorpions and snakes. While the beds are being set up, people rally round to help Mariama. Mina is an expert on herbal remedies. They also use herbal treatments for their cattle and burn special markings over affected areas. They believe in supernatural forces such as genies, shape-shifting spirits that take the form of humans or animals.
Be Allah hocci goto yaatiɓe e bilci e jaatiɗo e wodi e jiiɗi woɓɓe Allah e holla ɗum en fii kada ɗum nden kadi ma ɗum gonɗa ɗum wara noon no mbi'i jiya ko warata jahango jiya ko warata faɓɓi jahango jiya ko waroyta gattitta jiya fii ka ɗum waɗe raɗɗum fii ka kaza ɗum waɗe ni kadi ma bo to tagu wori tawi e raɗɗum ɗum waɗi noon no ɓe mbi'i.
The tribe are well known for their magical powers and potions. They wear talismans, mixtures of plants and minerals sewn into small leather packets and attached around the body. Junari's brother, Kabu, explains.
Nasuneda, sune sukaba na tsaron jiki ne, kamar na muyagun mutane haka, magani da za su yi na tsaron jiki ne, amma ba mugun magani ya yi ma mutum ba a'a, na tsaron shi ne kawai, da dukiyan shi.
Quincy has a headband containing powerful herbs with amazing properties.
Wannan da sanda da takobi magani shi da ciwon kai duka kawai mutum yana yi so yi mini keta bai komi abu sai ya koma waje ki shine ka gado haka nan muke tun da gado mu ne in ba mu yi haka nan sai ka gani in ginin mu bai zo tare sai ka gani abu bai yi daidai ba ko mun arme shi babu yanzu sai na yi al'ada wadda muka yi ma da fari muna je wajen shi haka nan wata bi ma muna kama jiki mu je
gado ne a ba su yi komai da mace ya gani namiji yana son shi kawai sai ya tattara ya je gare shi. A'a ba magani ba ne, so ne dai. A'a ba su yi magani.
The Wadabi's ancient and secret knowledge of herbal remedies and magic is well known amongst other tribes. This Tuareg tribesman has come to see Mina for advice.
Inshallah. Mungkin magar no khatamun nubura sankili. Irje shila wan gargaja wan iskan ko. Yo. Ille. Yo. So kaisan ararwa kai taggu az sunna sangorci tefun dashi yo agora kai gantu ammas kai sassu idu cidu bara wan kai kullu yo insha Allah aska yisgar gor tashi yo nakuina kai behudi o behudi wurje wan wurje shilan aratwana kutagude da Allah wan tidi aska sassu arahudi aska yiga idara nasani hozan tashi da ba kai silaiga pas
The tribesman tells Mina and Quincy of a nearby Tuareg camel race. Selling remedies can supplement the income the Wadabi receive from milk. This could be a good opportunity to get a little money for the Garawal festival, and the friends decide to go. While they head off towards the camel race, back at the camp, the women are getting excited as Garawal draws near. Yaya is looking forward to seeing family and friends, and Mariama is feeling a lot better. Mina's herbal remedies are working. It's time to get the men's costumes ready. The women and children work hard to ensure they look their best. Quincy and Mina arrive at the Tuareg camel race. Tuareg nomads inhabit a vast area covering the middle of the Sahara and northern Sahel. They live in harmony with the Wadabi. The camel is the most expensive beast in the desert, and every Wadabi aspires to own one. Although they haven't done any business, Quincy and Mina have had a great day at the races. But on their way back to the camp, they make a big decision regarding the Garawal, which won't go down well with their wives.
Kami on tohan inno on tohan kayim Mariam e kam be to jun en gadano en jahara cenam botun da be jada ci hede ci sale kayim en be dafti be galana be jahara be galana tun to jahini be majjan to be gorata en badde no ji be gorata en jengo en bagne be gorata en goddo are me de nyande jahe be nduji dawsi e me de koti e be nduji ko no di sencita abe e hondobe cenam bayandi dum don wada yondo ko de Allah hari to jam modum noddo to yeri to Bapani bin haragaji dogo waro ga no to ene ma fu en ton tamoti to ya o joni daadi habbor on bi on ni hatani jottu jongo hokka jonga yi ay mo nya bo dokki jama mo ron ya bi de garu
Next morning, back at the camp, Quincy and Mina are packing to go to the Garawal. They've told their wives that they can't go with them.
Yana so amman da fari sai da yayi gardama da yace yayi so ba za ya so in jeni kade yayi so mutai tare
wannan ko yana so ko ba ya so tunda yanzu ni banna haɗi mu je tare banna hana shi tunda lokacin shi ne yanzu banna so mu hana shi banna so ya je shi ma baya yarda mu tahi mu bir shi nan gida shi ma baya yarda haka nan.
Janari met the mother of his 7 children at the Garawal.
jeru fijo amen minongo boda be ngomen doni ko men pini men tawi lokaci de lattino mi kayejo nde mi gorko mi wala ngal jawdi orey nde hander kaya ko mi kayejo mi wadi are am bodde de
ngal wodi di kore mi uro lullu
ajira jirta
hirsane wadi bo mi fije dum bodo dum kanjoni bo andi min jidi aren jini ay kana embryos tundu fa dum don gor ko bisa metina
This year, Janari isn't going to the Garawal. He's staying at home with his family. but Quincy is finding it difficult to get away.
Hakanan ne wannan dama muna yi shi tun da lokacin nan muka raba kayan nan shi ya hidda nashi cikin sakun ni ma mu dauka namu to shi dushiyan shi ya tashi ni mu tahiya mu ce yana yi dafin dushiya kowane sai yi ma kowane magana ba bugun shi zai.
After some heated discussions, Mariama and Yaya decide to obey their husbands.
Lokacin muka taho muna yi wannan gado tun da rannan ni muna tahiya yanan tahiya mun shi ma gaya nan bai tahi ba dole mu yi magana na faɗa ma waje magana kawai muke yi shi ba bugun shi muke yi.
Leaving their wives behind, Quincy and Mina have made the long trek to the road where they hope to get a ride. They're in good spirits, but the morning's arguments have slowed them down, and if they don't get a lift soon, they'll miss the beginning of the festival. Over 1,000 Wadabi have made their way to Chintabaradan for this year's Garawal. They've come from all over the Sahel, travelling for days to this isolated spot in the desert. Quincy and Mina have finally arrived at the event they've been waiting all year for. They meet relatives and old friends and exchange news.
Mun haɗu da su mun gaisa da su da abokawa samu da mutane mu dai famici mu dai duka dangi mu duka mun gansu.
All over the camp, people are getting ready for the first dance. Then Quincy has a surprise. His new wife, Fatima, is at the festival with a friend. Because it is a Kobgal marriage, she won't start living with Quincy until the final ceremony in 2 months' time. Until then, Fatima is free to do as she chooses.
Wannan daidai yace dama haka nan muka yi ba na tahi tare kawai wadda ini ya saya biyo yanzu ba yi komi ba kuma cikin daɗi ne tun da wasa na wadda muka tarda da haka nan ne.
Single girls get the chance to choose lovers at the Garawal, but it's also an opportunity for unhappily married women to find a new husband. Quincy and Mina decide to get ready. Insides of old flashlight batteries make a useful but possibly harmful lipstick. The final touch is an ostrich feather placed on the turban. And this contestant has a talisman to ward off evil words. Quincy and Mina's group get together for a warm-up. Finally, they're ready to perform their first dance. They make their way to the centre of the action. The dancers believe that the chanting brings out their inner beauty, which helps to make them irresistible to women. Women check out the contestants. Quincy and his friends work hard to project their charms. A man's ability to roll his right eye in and out is a rare and highly rated talent. Mina uses this lip-trembling technique. Women show their preferences with almost imperceptible glances and movements of the arm. The apparent lack of enthusiasm is a demonstration of modesty or semtende. Some couples will agree with subtle body movements to meet later that evening. And the men who are not chosen will carry on dancing through the night. The Garawal lasts for 7 days and nights. It's an endurance test that pushes the men to their limits.
Muy ado nan muy ado sa'annan mu je muna fara jerewol macce yazo can gaba mu yana diba in mai da ya gani mai kyau shikenan daga nan ma shi iya hita jero sai ya dauke ta daga nan ne muka ga mutane yana dauka daya har jerewol ya kare wasu ya rasa wasu ya samu.
Quincy is tired. Mina dropped out a long time ago.
Wannan dama yayi kyau. Na bara ma yayi shi ma yayi nashi. Wannan ma shi ma da nashi. Ma yanzu wannan yayi. Jero din da zo zuka da yana yi. Muna ji daɗin shi duka shi daga na bara har da na cikin daɗin shi wallahi yayi lalle
suna da kyau
wannan ma muna neman shi algaya muna same shi ko
mata mai kyau wallahi ina gani cewa tun da tun sheke ni yana zo ni kaɗai ne nike kon sai borgo har da sahi.
After a week of almost continuous dancing, the Garawal is drawing to a close. Meanwhile, back at the camp, Yaya and Mariama are making their own entertainment. Quincy and Mina are on their way home. The festival is over, along with the end of the rainy season, and their life will return to normal. A struggle for survival and for beauty.